A story that Raptors fans and Spanish basketball fans will definitely remember is Jorge Garbajosa and his 74-game career in the NBA that was ended by a freak injury. He was actually one of my first favorite basketball players, and that's why I'm making this video. He was a promising player in his rookie year, and despite only playing 60 games before his injury, he still was tied for all-rookie first-team honors in 2006. He even won Rookie of the Month in December of that season. Garbajosa started his basketball career playing for TAU Ceramica between the years of 95 to 2000. He originally declared for the NBA draft in 1999 and went undrafted. He continued playing in Europe and played for Benetton Treviso between 2000 and 2004, which would end up being his connection to the Toronto Raptors. He spent the next 2 seasons playing with Uni Jaka, where he was very successful, and that was when he really started to get the attention of NBA scouts. After seeing him win the Spanish Cup MVP in 2005 and the 2006 Spanish League Finals MVP, the Toronto Raptors signed him to a 3-year, $12 million deal. During his time with Benetton Treviso, he played under Maurizio Girardini, who ended up being the vice president of the Raptors in 2006, and ultimately why he ended up with the Raptors. Having declared for the NBA draft in '99, he wasn't signed by a team until 2006, so by the time he had his rookie season, he was 29, which meant he was really old for a rookie, but also meant that he was an experienced player. He was in the starting lineup from the beginning of the season. And across 60 games, he averaged 8.5 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Really solid rookie numbers, which actually made Garbajosa an undrafted all-rookie first-team member, and he played over 28 minutes per night. He was 6'9", but he was quick on his feet. He played a lot of minutes at power forward, but he did play the small forward as well. He was able to shoot the 3 and average 1 made 3 per game, and he moved very well for someone 6'9". His size and speed made him a very good defender. He was an excellent one-on-one defender, and he was able to guard both power forwards and small forwards. Drawing charges and getting steals were something he excelled in. He was a vital piece to a Raptors team that hadn't made the playoffs in 5 years. The 2006-2007 Raptors were headed for the playoffs and were working on securing home court advantage when in the 60th game of the season it all came to a horrific end. And I'm not gonna lie, I cried. I was 12. Needless to say, I was a big fan, and man, it was a bad injury. I won't include it in this video, but I'll say that I've never seen an injury with a player in that much visible pain. It was definitely sad what happened. Toronto was losing to Boston, who had the 2nd worst record in the league, and there were 4.5 minutes left in the game and we were down 9. Al Jefferson had room and was driving for a dunk. Garbajosa was a hustle defender by nature, so he challenged it even though some players might have let it go in that situation. He ended up fouling Jefferson and they bumped, and Garbajosa ended up breaking his leg, dislocating his ankle, and tearing a ligament. His friend and teammate Jose Calderon saw it all happen, and his reaction is complete shock. He declined to talk about it post-game. And that was the end of that season for Garbajosa. It's unfortunate because of how effective he would have been in the playoffs. The Raptors secured 3rd seed and ended up squaring off with the New Jersey Nets, the team with our sworn enemy Vince Carter. The Raptors would have been able to put him on Vince Carter, who torched us in that series, putting up 25 points per game en route to the Nets winning in 6 games. I can't say for sure, but I can't help but wonder if it would have been different with Garbajosa in the lineup. After all, he was considered by a lot of people to be our best defender. Anyway, the injury ended the season and immediately put his career in question. Losing a rookie to injury is a bad sign, and even worse if you're almost 30. He's already had over 10 years of playing on his body, so it became a question of if this rookie returns, not when. He underwent surgery and his status was questionable for some time. He returned the next season and it was clear that he was not the same player that he once was. And that's not his fault. It was due to injury for sure. As a rookie, he looked like he was getting better over time, but in his 7-game return the next season, he averaged 3 points and 2 rebounds across 10 minutes per game. He was bought out following that season, and he was owed the remaining $4.2 million, and his career with the Raptors was officially over after 67 games. The void that he filled for the Raptors was opened up again, and his intensity in 3-and-D game would be missed for quite some time. If he had never gotten injured, he probably would have played out that 3-year contract and maybe even more, because the Raptors definitely could have used him in the following years too. After his NBA career, Jorge played with the Spanish national team and a few teams in Europe before retiring from basketball in 2012 at the age of 34. And on July 9th of 2016, he was elected president of the Spanish Basketball Federation. So even though his career with the Raptors came to an unfortunate end, he continued to have his hand in the world of basketball and continued to do a lot for his country, Spain. So overall, he's had a very successful basketball career. Jorge Garbajosa was honestly a fan favorite in Toronto. People loved him here. He was a quiet, hard worker who was willing to fill any role that was required of him. He played with us when I really started to love basketball, and that's why he was my favorite player at the time. I loved how hard and serious he took his role no matter what his role was. He was really the perfect other guy. He wasn't a star, but he was willing to do everything that it took to win, and his hustle made him an admirable player in the NBA. Thanks for watching, everybody.